So let's try this again. This is what I was worried about. I tried to go live on my spare phone. Um, and then I was going to go live on my computer because I'm on Wi-Fi at McDonald's. But when you know it, their Wi-Fi is not working. Like I said, in recent years, I've noticed that people can't even do what they signed up to do anymore. Remember, McDonald's was the free Wi-Fi, the free Wi-Fi place. Not anymore. Half of them don't even have Wi-Fi. Yo, I'm trying to find the bottom of this tostada. It is a mess. Can I just say that this is the new Cheez-It? It's a Cheez-It, like the classic cracker. But I'm using my data now, so I won't be losing you again. The meat is weird. I don't eat a lot of Taco Bell. I'm kind of wondering if this is going to make me sick. I mean, it's an absolute mess. Like, as far as messiness, it's a 10 out of 10 messy. I will say that the Cheez-It part tastes like a Cheez-It. It really does. The Cheez-It's good. The vegetables are good. It's the meat that I don't like. Oh my god, it's literally so much stuff you can't even... Guess what they didn't give me? Take a wild fucking guess. Take a wild darn guess. Napkins. Those don't come with takeout anymore. Y'all didn't know? You don't get napkins with your takeout order. Hell, there's going to come a day where they're going to charge us extra for damn straws and damn cups. Yeah, I have a weird meat thing. I don't like a lot of like artificial meat. I wish I had a fork right now, but I don't. So we're just going to drive this struggle bus all the way into our damn mouths. It is good. The Cheez-It's really crunchy. It tastes like a Cheez-It. This was $3.99 at Taco Bell. Is it worth $3.99? No. It's not going to fill you up. That's for damn sure. I got to find a spoon, y'all. I literally cannot. And I need baby wipes first. I got a freaking mess on my hands. Literally. So I saw this other creator. She's a food creator. She does lots of fast food and stuff. She's young. She's probably about 20 years old. I can't think of her name. And we live in a time where you're not allowed to describe people by their features anymore because it offends people. I'm fucking joking. She's a black girl. She's kind of thicker. She got dreads. She's real sweet and she's quirky. And she looks really young. If y'all know who it is, drop it in the comments. But I saw her review this tostada. And I said, hell yeah, that's where we going. Because I love Cheez-Its. And you know what? I cook with Cheez-Its. I make all kinds of stuff with Cheez-Its. Like, bacon, egg, and cheese casserole. You top that with Cheez-Its and bacon in the oven with real cheese. Oh my freaking god. It'll make you want to slap your mama. Hash brown casserole with Cheez-Its in it. Oh my god, so good. You can do anything with Cheez-Its that you could do with... Listen, the reason I have a spoon in my purse is because this is a cooler and I had yogurt at work earlier. And I always keep one in here anyways to have something to eat with. I had bought a set when I first moved in my car last year, and slowly the 3-piece set just went missing. So I saw some for $1 the other day at Walmart. Pick me up another 3-piece set. And the knife that comes with this damn set will absolutely cut vegetables and meat. And it's a plastic knife. It's damn worth the damn dollar. But anyways, this is worth... I mean, for a one-time thing, just to try it, it's worth the $3.99. But it's not something that you're going to want to get because it's not enough to fill you up. And it's also messy, super messy. So, Mm. The Cheez-It is really good. It tastes like a Cheez-It. This is a tostada in a spoon. I hope I'm saying that right. Tostada, right? I think I'm better at Spanish than I am English. Me llama Brooke. ¿Cómo te llamas? Poquito español. Uno más. I know that because I used to serve bar, and you have to know that down south. Yeah. I know enough to get me by. I would love to become fluent in Spanish one day. Or maybe just another language in general. It really wouldn't matter what it was. Okay. Y'all see how fast I eat? I wonder if that comes from prison, from where I was in there so long and they only give you a short period of time to actually eat. Or it could be from my parents restricting me from food as a child. And so any access I had to food, I shoveled it in. I can't remember. A lot of my childhood I blocked out. But I question if that has something to do with it. It's something. There's a reason I eat so fast. Most women don't. But I'm going to tell you what. I've dated some men that eat faster than I do. I look across the table and he's done and held the whole damn plate. And I'm taking my second bite. And I'm like, whoa, you was hungry, wasn't you, sweetie? Or either my cooking is that damn good. Probably the latter. But, yeah. Okay, I feel better. I also got a a Doritos nacho taco. That's what spilt cheese all of my damn everywhere. It's okay. I need to vacuum out when I get home. I'm on my way back to North Carolina right now. I have a doctor's appointment first thing in the morning for my Suboxone. I'm actually, for the first time in I think my entire life, actually looking forward to seeing these medical professionals. Probably the first time in my life I'm looking forward to going in there and handling everything I got to do tomorrow. And that's exactly how you should feel about your recovery. It shouldn't be a hassle to stay clean. It should come easy. Life should get easier. Things should get easier. And I've talked about this on my channel, that when I got clean, I pretty much put myself in fucking poverty by standing by my morals and values. And I was always like that before, but when I was on drugs, I was easier to control and manipulate, and I complied. But now that I'm sober, I've been unstoppable when it comes to my morals and my values. And I just don't, my life shouldn't have went to shit because I decided to get clean. That means that everybody that was around me was an enabler, and they wanted me strung out on drugs. And that's not healthy. So if I can do it, if I can get clean, anybody can do it. I literally had every person around me throwing incentives in my face and large sums of money to not get clean. And I wanted to get clean because I wanted to live. And I also knew that the people that were enabling me and wanting to keep me on drugs, I also realized that if they truly loved me, they would not want me on drugs. But when that's your normal, when that's all you've ever experienced out of love, that's what your expectation is. So, yeah. Anyway, sometimes I wonder how I keep it together and stay sober. I really do, because I have days that would make the most sane person want to damn not do savory things. First of all, my window cover is falling down. I think I had my windows, you see it's from the wind, so I'm going to put that back up so nobody can. With no bra on, just showing her whole back on YouTube. A platform that allows children. Just remember that. Well, all of my notes are on this phone, so now I'm kind of upset. Fuck. God dang it, dude. My life. I just fucking can't. Literally all of my notes. Hold on one second, y'all. I gotta transfer these notes over so I can even remember what all happened. It's sad that so much happened today. I had to take freaking notes and pointers. I'll start with, from the moment that I walked in, this place was called Headlights Gold. Headlights Gold. The owner of this club owns all of the clubs in Virginia Beach and the Norfolk area. So this is working. He owns all of those. He has been in the industry for decades. When I try to find this man, he is a ghost. He has no social media. The only documentation that I can find that he actually exists and is a human is court files. All the women that have sued him over the years. That's public record. I have a ton of those screenshots on here, and I'm so upset right now that I was trying to go live on this phone, and it kept kicking me off of Wi-Fi. My phone, I don't know if it's overheating. I don't know, but I was going to the damn app, and then I get this far, and it kicks me back out. I got a computer. I guess I could switch over, but I'm not doing that now. So we're just going to have to, I'm just going to use this computer to find all of the evidence that I found earlier. I've got notes. So first of all, Headlights Gold is affiliated with a club called Clancy's, a club called Mermaids, a club called, there's 5 Headlights go-go places. And he owns them all. He owns some in North Carolina and the whole Virginia, the whole southern coastal Virginia area. This man, his name, I want to scream right now. Yo, I didn't do shit at work. Nothing. His name is Robert Lee Brown Jr. Now, he has an LLC that he runs all of these clubs under. Now, the Virginia Pilot, actually, the Washington Post also wrote a story about this place. And it also wrote, it looks like a shithole. This is the best they got in Virginia Beach, baby. This is it. You know what's crazy is over the years, I've heard so many women say, oh my God, I make so much money in Virginia Beach. Bullshit. Bullshit. I've been to every one of the clubs here. There's about 10 of them. I've been to every single one of them. Half of them don't even hire white girls. They're very prejudiced. Now, normally, once again, it's the opposite. You have clubs out here that won't hire black girls. I don't agree with that. I think that every club deserves and needs a wide range of women. So, I don't agree with it. However, in this area, I'm so fucking over technology, y'all. I want to just scream. The damn article never even came up. Let's try a different one. So, what was I saying? He owns all of these clubs, all of them. He's been sued almost a dozen times. All of the lawsuits stuck. All of these women won money. I'm going to break down at the end something about the laws that changed because it's only been recent that they started putting strippers on payroll in this state. And the reason that they had to do that was they had to change the laws and regulation because this man kept getting fucking sued and fined for pretty much working the shit out of these girls and these girls not making any money. There's several ways that a dancer can sue a club. If they're coercing you and forcing you to work and you're on a 1099 and they're telling you you have to work and you have to stay 6 hours or you have to stay 5 hours minimum, they cannot do that. This is exactly how these girls were able to sue because it's illegal. So now they put their girls on payroll. They put them on a certain, I'm going to get into this in a minute. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's look at this. Exotic dancers at Headlights Gentlemen Clubs in Norfolk sue, claim they were cheated out of wages and tips. What have I been fucking talking about? Now, this was the last lawsuit that he had. So he was alive as of 2021. However, recently I found 3 obituary deaths for his exact fucking name. So there's a good chance that the man has died recently and these clubs have switched hands. I also found another Robert Lee Brown Jr. who was incarcerated in this state for murder. There's a good chance that could be him. I don't know. All I know is this man is a fucking ghost. And not only that, there's no pictures of him. He never comes into the clubs here. He has no affiliation with these clubs, but he owns them. And he's been fucking getting over on girls for fucking years. Not only that, I'm going to get in. I got a new rating system for when I go into these clubs. And when I come out, I'm going to give y'all all the fucking tea. The clubs are deplorable. They are dangerous work conditions. But I'll get into that later when I rate this club. So it says 4 exotic dancer at Headlights Gentlemen Clubs in Norfolk sued the business owner and managers this week, claiming that they had been denied wages for years and had tips illegally taken from them. The lawsuit was filed Wednesday. Now that was in 2021 in May. The lawsuit was filed Wednesday in the U.S. District Court in Norfolk. It's one of the many filed in federal courts across the country in recent years on behalf of exotic dancers working in adult entertainment clubs, said Los Angeles attorney John Kirstenstein. Let me tell you about this son of a bitch right here. I wish I had his number because he would be my new best friend. This man right here has been flying all over the country from Los Angeles and defending strippers who are too fucking poor to defend themselves. Women that have been working longer than I have. And I've been in this industry for almost 17 years, right at 17 years. So, he's one of 4 lawyers representing the women, and they are from Los Angeles. And they've represented so many females that have been in this industry for years, and the clubs were doing illegal things such as taking dance cuts, taking dance money, all of this stuff. So it's highly illegal. And I think it's important for girls to know this information, what these clubs can and cannot do, because it's unethical. I don't care if it's a strip club. Some of us genuinely have to. So it says Headlights has 5 locations in Hampton Roads and 2 in North Carolina, according to its websites. The Norfolk location is at blah, 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 Granby Street, blah, 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 blah. Of course, no representatives of the club could be reached for comment. The lawsuit argues that Headlights illegally classifies its dancers as independent contractors. It's a tact that the club and others like it have used for years to avoid paying women minimum wage and overtime pay. It's a violation of the Fair Law Standards and Act. So these girls were going to work every day. This club was not promoting for them. These girls were going and sitting for over 40 hours a week, and they wasn't making a fucking dime. And every time they'd make a dime, the club would take the majority of their fucking money. And so ultimately, these women would end up winning. I can't figure out how much they got, but maybe we can Google it in a minute and figure out, because I also know there was some strippers, a bunch of entertainers that got together in Las Vegas a few years back, and they won millions. Now, there's several reasons that a dancer could sue a club. This is something completely different than what I complain about on a daily basis. What I complain about is that every time I make $1,000, $1,500, the club takes $800, $1,200 of my money. It's not fair. And it's illegal. It's highly illegal. And I want y'all to know, anyone that's thinking about dancing, that this shit is not what you think it is. Everyone is going to be trying to get at you and use you for whatever means they want to use you. An independent contractor is a plumber who comes to your house. They're working for themselves. Somebody who is there at a business every day is not an independent contractor. They're an employee. The lawsuit also says the club's owners and managers force the women to pay a house fee that ranged from $10 to $25. And y'all, that's cheap. That's cheap. House fees go up to $160, $200 on the weekends. That's a day shift. You got there at 11:30 a.m. when we fucking open. You got there at 1 p.m. because you was an hour late. That's what that is. These house fees are fucking ridiculous. So it says, let me start over because I'm getting ahead of myself. I get so excited about this because it's so fucked up. The lawsuit also says the club owners and managers forced the women to pay a house fee that ranged from $10 to $25 a shift and is essentially an illegal kickback. Once again, what do I keep saying? Now, here's the thing. In some states, a house fee is absolutely legal, like North Carolina. They can charge you a house fee. What they can't do is take any money from any of the dances that you do or your stage tips. They can ask you politely, respectfully, to tip out to the bouncer, to the door guy, to the bartender. But what they can't do is actually take that money out of your dance money and hold it fucking hostage and force you to tip. And that is what these bigger clubs are doing. For me to make $1,500 in an hour and only get to walk away with $400, I wish that I had the patience and stability to go back to that club and work there for the next 2 years and keep fucking records and then go see Mr. Kirsten Scene. Yeah, because that's what you do. You need to keep records, any kind of slips that you can get. And I'm going to talk more about this in a minute because this contract that I had to sign with these people might end up coming to bite me in the fucking ass when it comes tax season. And I'll tell you in a minute. But what was I talking about? Goddamn ADHD be killing me. Keep your records. Keep any kind of slips. And if you can work there for a few years, you could probably sue them for all of the money that they've taken from you. Now, I'm saying this because this is what's happening all over the country. So, for me to sell 8 hot tubs a month at the club that took all of this money from me, if I was to sell 8 hot tubs a month, that would be $100,000 that the club made off of me in a year. However, I would only walk away with around $38,000, and that's before tip out and house fees. So you're talking I might make 30 grand, but the club's going to make 100, and their bouncers and their floor guys and their bartenders are all going to make 100, but the dancers who are actually the main fucking point of the club to start with, otherwise y'all are just a fancy steakhouse. Like the main point of a strip club, y'all are going to short them and put them into starvation and homelessness. They didn't used to be this fucking cold, but I'm telling you right now, they got some balls on them nowadays. All right, the dancers also required, so they're talking about how it's essentially an illegal kickback. So is taking any dance money. Now in Virginia, they're not allowed to charge you a house fee. They did not charge me a house fee today because it's illegal to, because I'm a employee. They put me on payroll. It's so fucked up. The dancers were also required to share their tips with workers who didn't typically earn them, such as managers, disc jockeys, security guards, according to the lawsuit. The only money that the women earn is the tips they receive from customers. I got so much to tell y'all about this. I just cannot wait. So they named the defendant as Robert L. Brown Jr., who is a fucking ghost. There's not even anything at the courthouse in this county on him. Nothing. No tax records, no property, nothing. So he does not live in the cities of these strip clubs. And I would doubt he even lives in the state, but I might be wrong. I'm just saying that it seems like he's very distant from the business. And when you're distant from a business like this, things tend to go wrong. And people tend to start stealing and being grimy, and you got all kinds of drama going on, and that's exactly what this club was. I'm going to go into that in a little more in a minute. So the women suing are Ron Quick, D. Sa, Danielle Williams. Okay, listen, I'm not good at English, so I'm not going to say that. The vast majority of lawsuits filed on behalf of the exotic dancers have been successful. Many of the club owners have agreed to settle them and change their business practices as a result. Bullshit. We've had a good run, and we're going to keep doing it because the law is clear. There, aka the clubs, taking advantage of these dancers and making a lot of money off of them until these clubs start complying with the law, or we're going to keep suing them. See, I need to fucking go call this guy. I'm telling you right now. You know I done damn found out his law office name and everything. I done bookmarked it in my damn phone. I can't remember his name, but I got his phone number for a rainy fucking day. So let's go to... So I'm going to have to put you guys on hold for a second and go screenshot all of my notes from today. I want to start with, though, once again, if you walk into a business or a strip club or whatever and things are bad from the start, people are treating you poorly, the staff is rude, the girls have a fucking attitude, you can just get used to that. That's what you're going to be dealing with on a daily basis. But I want you to know that not all clubs are like that. Not all clubs you're going to walk into and be treated badly. Not all clubs you're going to walk into and every person that works there, you can tell that they're miserable in life and they hate themselves. Not every club is like that. So don't worry, we're going to find a good one. I don't care if I have to go to freaking Washington State. This is what we're doing now because I have no choice. And I'm going to probably get blacklisted. They're going to know me at some point. So this is the fourth that I've talked about. And this one is going to be in great detail. Like, I'm going to break everything down because it's not right. It's so illegal. And not only that, there's a reason that this industry is dying. So hold on one second. I'll talk about them at the end, but I kind of want to... Sorry. I'm seeing something about abuse. Oh, y'all know what's crazy? Look at this. I like this. Virginia has all of their information online. It's not like this in North Carolina. You can look up any old case, like versus blah, 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 blah. So also the public records, they have a better system here so that you can find stuff that's happened in the past. And so these are all of the clubs. I want to show y'all this before I get started because I'm going to turn this computer off. So he owns Headlights Gentlemen Club. As you can see, it's got a 3.8. Now that's up in Newport News. That's a little north of us. As you can see, the quality of dancers there. Headlights Gentlemen. So he owns all of these. This is the one that I worked at. And when I tell you, it's rough. So the way that it works is it's a two-sided building. There's one side, when you first walk in, you go through a metal detector. Shit, I don't even know how to turn this around. I was trying to show you the building. The building right there. One side, you can be topless. The other side, you cannot, because they serve alcohol on one side. The other side does not serve alcohol, and that's where you do VIP dances and all of that. When I tell you that I did not sell a fucking dance today, I talked to 2 customers. They were both assholes. They acted rude to me for speaking to them when they're literally in my place of fucking business. Can I just say that I understand that we're all struggling out here, and I understand that a lot of y'all that are coming into these establishments don't have extra money to spend. You shouldn't be coming in there. The whole point of coming in there is to spend money. Like, that's literally the point of a strip club, is to get dances, to socialize with the girls. You can't be mad at strippers for coming up and saying hello to you. What in the mental health is going on here? All right, let's get into the real juicy part. So let's start with, why did it take, and then it took the fucking pictures sideways. Like, I can't win. So, is this club BBWB approved? So I came up with a 10-star rating system. Number 1 and number 2. There's 2 ways to earn stars. Number 1, your business, your facility, your staff, your dancers, and your customers. Number 2, money, money cuts, policy, regulation, and hours. And you can also throw in there like your contract. When they hire you at these places, whether you're on a 1099 or you're on a W2, W4, whatever, regardless, you fill out a contract. You agree to, not do anything illicit. And surprisingly, here's a kicker. I found this interesting. When I'm in there and I'm filling out my contract, I noticed that one of the top responsibilities of a dancer, it said theatrical performing. It said sensualized sexual movement. Okay, it literally said your job is to fucking dance and only dance. I'm sorry, I'm working on my potty mouth. It's just crazy that I've never seen that in a contract before. I've worked at hundreds of clubs throughout the United States, and I've never seen a contract specifically say your job is to dance. That tells you a lot about the industry. So let me start with, from the moment that I got there, I was the first girl there. I showed up with my hair, makeup done, my bags packed, ready to go in and ready to get to work. I get there and I meet the daytime manager, Renee. I know Renee from somewhere, but I can't put my finger on it. This is a very small community. And these people that are up here, some of them are actually from my area. I ran the other girl, so there was Renee. There was a cook who also is like a bar back, bouncer, whatever you want to call him. He's also a DJ. This guy is doing like 5 jobs because they're too cheap to pay anybody, okay? And so it's Renee, the floor guy, me, and one other girl. This other girl, she used to work for me and my ex at a strip club in North Carolina. Now, I did not recognize her. Come to find out, she worked for us for a month, but she didn't like it. She didn't fit in there. So she went to another club called Phillies. Phillies does not run a clean club. So that told me a lot. The fact that she would rather fit in there than at a club that does not allow any kind of sexual activity or anything like that. And this is crazy because we're going to circle back to this. But as soon as I got there, everybody seemed like they were in a bad mood. The only person that really seemed like they didn't hate themselves was the guy that was like the DJ, cook, whatever, and he was cool. And I will say the dancer that I met, I can't remember her damn name. It's not important. I don't want to put her on blast, but I will say, not trying to be mean, once again, there are a lot of women that are doing this now that are not up to par with industry standards. They're just not. If we're sitting at a bar and there's 15 chairs at that bar and I can smell your breath from 10 chairs away, that is not up to industry standards. Like, that's not good. It's bad for business. And I understand that listen, my teeth ain't perfect, but I brush them and I try to take care of them. Some people that are on drugs do not, and you can smell it. And I'm just saying that 15 years ago, this girl would have never been hired because of that. Not to mention her physical things. I'm not trying to be funny, you guys. I'm not. But also, I'm being realistic. Strippers need to look a certain way. They need to have a certain attitude, and they need to have some couth and class along with it. So I will say that even though I didn't like this girl, I'm going to tell you why in a minute, because there's a valid fucking reason, and it has nothing to do with her not having fresh breath. I can promise you that. But she, seemed okay until midway through the day, and then I'm going to get into that in a minute. But the manager, complete asshole. I went up to the bar with a $20 bill and tried to get me a bottle of water, and she ignored me for like 10 minutes, to the point that I finally was just like, fuck it. I don't need to spend money in this motherfucker anyways. I carried my ass to my locker. I got my water bottle out, and, it had caffeine in it. I wanted a caffeine-free water. But, it's just like the customer service sucks. And the table side manner sucks. And if you're going into something and it's bad from the start, yeah. So, like I said, I tried to talk to 2 men. They had attitudes. Then the manager had an attitude. And even though the dancer and the floor guy didn't have an attitude, they overall had this sense of misery about them. Like, you can see these people not happy. And if you've ever been around somebody who is truly miserable and strung out and putting themselves through hell, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. There's no hope or anything in their eyes. They just look like they're living in actual hell. And all of them had this vibe. Like, I'm a very happy person. I walk around, I smile, and I shoot the shit with people. And, like, it's not that type of club that you can go in and be cool, okay? You're going to have to go in there and, I don't know, man. I don't know. But I can't work anywhere that I can't be me and flip-flop and, like, you know, enjoy myself. That's the whole point, is to enjoy yourself. So, anyways, then it comes time to fill out my contract. So once again, there's a good chance that this is going to come back and bite me in the ass. So their contract, there's a section to file your dependents and all of that. So I started marking 0 because I don't have any dependents other than myself. And I started marking 0, and she immediately snatches the application out my, or the work packet, whatever it is, the contract, out of my hands and says, no, we'll fill that out later. I'm sorry. Do you live with me? Do you know how many dependents I have? Why are they wanting to fill out my paperwork? Watch this shit. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Then there came a point where I said, well, I don't have any dependents, blah, 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 blah. She's like, oh, they'll do that. They'll do that. Just don't worry about it. They'll do it. You don't have to think about it. Don't worry about it. Which freaked me out even fucking more. And it's not, I mean, I don't know how they could do anything with that, but it was super fucking sketchy. And when you're going into any job, and there is a contract, legally, you have the right to have a copy of that contract. You are entering into a binding agreement with someone. You have every right to have a copy of that contract. And matter of fact, you need one. You absolutely need it. And so here they are telling me that I can't have a copy. Oh, and you know another thing? When I went to sign, I signed my name with my first initial, Brooke, and then my last name. I've always signed my name like that since I started going by Brooke 30 years ago. She said, no. She said, I got to go get you a whole new contract because you didn't put your first name on here and blah, blah, blah. I said, well, my John Hancock doesn't have my first name in it. I said, my John Hancock is H. Brooke, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, no, it has to have your first name. It has to have your... First of all, the whole reason that we have a John Hancock is to identify that it was actually the fucking person that signed it. That's the whole reason that we have a signature. Now you're telling me that I can't use my signature. So later on down the road, you just screwed yourself. I never signed that. That's not even how I signed my name. That wasn't me. It's unbelievable how stupid these people are. And they will absolutely try to drag you down with their bullshit. All to make a little bit of money that's not beneficial for anybody but them. This shit right here that I'm talking about is not only scammy, but these are fucking con artists. This is some money laundering shit or something. I don't know. And here's another thing. Going back to these people being rude immediately when I walk in the fucking door and having an attitude. As a strip club owner, you want to be as welcoming as possible to the new girls and any girls because you're literally relying on them to keep your business open. However, in recent years, since COVID, the lack of respect in the establishments are borderlining on narcissism, mind games, mental emotional games. So the lack of respect and the lack of proper security measures really made me feel unsafe in here. So, mind you, I'm sitting at work. I'm supposed to be on stage stripping, but there's nobody in there. But they're doing great. Let me tell you, that one girl that had to walk to the store halfway through the day, she's making killer money. Let me tell you. So, let's see. So, I can't tell y'all about the whole girl walking to the store thing yet because, yeah. Yeah, we're going to circle back to that. Well, actually, we can go ahead and start talking about it now. So the other girl that was there, like I said, I started chatting with her. So first of all, I met her in the dressing room. The first thing out of her mouth was something about fucking Suboxone. I don't know. It don't make no damn sense. Now there's a good, I mean, it's a possibility that she knew who I was or something, but I highly doubt it. She was so high out of her mind that she could barely keep both of her eyes open at the same time. She was higher than a damn Georgia pine. Heroin, pills, opiates without a doubt. It's all in the eyes. So I'm trying to find better lighting for y'all, and I can't find my fan because y'all can't even see me, and I have a fan that has a light. So my first interaction, I'm putting on my dance drawers, and she says, you can't wear those dance underwear because this state, they have to be wider. I said, yeah, I just realized that. I said, they just told me I'm going to change them. I said, thank God I brought 2 pairs, you know? And she's like, she says something. And then she says, yeah, it's like my first day back to work because I've been sick. She says, I'm on Suboxone and I haven't been able to get it. And we all know what I've been going through. So I could definitely relate to her on that. And I said, me too. I said, I take Suboxone. I said, I've been clean for 4 years. I said, doesn't recovery feel amazing? Knowing good and well she's high as fuck. By the end of the day, she was admitting to me that she wasn't clean. By the end of the day, I kept telling her that if she wanted to get clean, she absolutely could, but that she would have to get the fuck away from these people in order to do that. And it's really sad to watch these girls kill themselves. This girl was 24 years old. 24. And she looked every bit of 40. And I'm not exaggerating. I swear y'all, I would not lie to y'all like this. I'm not exaggerating. She looked twice my damn age. It literally upsets me so bad. Because if it were not for drugs, she would be a beautiful fucking healthy girl. And she's going to end up dead. She's one of the ones, without a doubt, that will end up dead. And it fucking breaks my heart. And it's so hard to deal with these girls and empathize with these girls. But at the same time, be kind of a little bit angry at these girls. Because they're killing the business that I've survived on. And I can't eat because they're in the back sucking dick. And it's not fair. But at the same time, I empathize with them. I understand the fucking struggle. But there comes a point where you fucking realize that you're doing it to yourself. And you make a change. Some people just never get there. And those people end up in jails, institutions, or death. And it literally fucking kills me. Just because I don't respect what she's doing in her life does not mean that I want something bad to happen to her. Everybody deserves a chance at recovery. And I kept reiterating that to her. So, another thing, she kept talking about Suboxone and not having access to it. I am not in a position, and it is also a felony to share that medication. I am not sharing my medication. And so I don't know why she kept circling back to that. Maybe I shouldn't have said that I was too, but I was just wanting her to know that life can actually be better if you take the medication like you're supposed to take the medication and actually refrain from shooting heroin or snorting pills or whatever. Like, I wanted her to know that I used to be in the same fucking predicament. So, we chatted up. I go out. I'm dancing. I can tell, once again, I've talked about this before, I can tell when I come into these clubs and these girls are not up to industry standards that it makes them feel some type of way. So at one point, I'm on stage, I go on stage, I'm dancing. She comes up to me and starts showing me videos of when she used to could dance. I guess she can't dance like she used to, or I don't know. She said something about at one point she broke her back. That's fucking crazy. 24-year-old breaking their back. I mean, y'all, she had scars, heroin scars up her fucking neck and on her face. Like, I don't. And then when I was leaving at 6 o'clock, she's in the fucking dressing room picking at her fucking skin. And I'm just like, girl, you're making it worse. Like, it really fucking eats at me to watch these girls doing this shit themselves. It's hard. So, anyways, midway through the day, we had like 2 or 3 guys come in, and at one point I tried to go up and talk to 2 of those guys, and they were rude to me. Well, apparently they were regular customers of hers, which is fine. That's absolutely fine. However, I was sitting with one of the guys at the bar, and he offered to buy me a drink. I was like, no, thank you. And he says, not because I didn't want to drink, because I have a drug test tomorrow, and they can test for alcohol, if I'm being honest. So, anyways, she comes up, gets right up in his face, and sits right on his lap. In dancing, that is considered cutthroating. What that is me and you are about to go do a dance, but Becky over here swoops in and tries to steal that money from me. This did not used to be a big thing. It absolutely is now. These girls are so cutthroat. I mean, they're being raised without any kind of fucking moral compass. So what do we expect, right? But she cutthroats me. I'm not thinking anything of it. I'm not worried about, because I'm going to tell y'all the dance prices in a minute. It's absolutely ridiculous what these customers pay for a single damn dance. So I'm not really worried about it. I go on my business, and I realize at some point she goes back with this guy. Okay, fine. Good for you. Go get that $20 dance. And she does the dance. She comes out. Now, all of these dances are behind closed doors, closed curtains, okay? And she comes out, and she immediately runs to the bathroom, and the guy that she was dancing with immediately runs to the bathroom. And then fast forward, he's walking out the door, and she comes out of the bathroom and comes up to me, and I just want to make sure that what I'm about to tell you, I get right. I don't want to, where's my vape? Jesus Christ, y'all. I swear. If somebody can find me a vape leash, I will literally give you a hug. So she comes up to me. This is the note. It's better for me to just read the note. Watched a girl go dance with 2 different men. Both went to the bathroom after one dance, and so did she. So she went and danced for both of these guys at separate times, and all of them would head to the bathroom immediately after doing these dances. You have to pay attention to shit like that. That tells you right there what is going on. So, like I said, after she did the first dance and went to the bathroom and came back to talk to me, she just come out of nowhere. Like, I'm sitting by myself doing research on who this fucking guy is in all of these clubs, and she comes out of nowhere, and she's like, I just want you to know that I pretty much like run this club. Like, I'm the like top earner here. Y'all, as I'm saying this, I almost wonder if this bitch has saw my channel, because I'm always talking about how I go into clubs and automatically become the top earner. Ain't it weird how the first thing out of her mouth was Suboxone, and then the next thing a couple hours later was talking about how she runs this club and she's the top earner and da-da-da-da-da-da. I don't know. Maybe she saw my channel. She'll definitely see this. And once again, I mean no disrespect to her if she does. I mean everything from the bottom of my fucking genuine ass heart. I hope you get clean. You're better than fucking that. You deserve to live, like I told you. So anyways, she comes up to me, she's talking about how she's a top earner and how she practically runs that club and several of the other clubs. So I guess they put these girls on payroll, and then they fucking go to all of the different locations and work, right? Oh, there I am. Who's that girl? Who's that girl? Da, da. Oh, let me not get a fucking violation for singing. You can't even have music or anything. So maybe she's on my channel. Maybe it's a super small world. I don't know. But I do know that there's no way in hell that girl makes money. She might make $500 a week, maybe $1,000 on a good week, but there's no way that she's making actual money that she's able to save and hold on to, because her drug problem is where all of the money's going. This is the same time that she comes up to me. She's like, yeah, it's been slow, but like I'm a top earner and I have my regulars and I can always count on them. And that's exactly how it should be. But what you don't do is go and brag about it. Like, girl, the lack of couth in some of these girls. And I genuinely don't think that they even realize. You know what I mean? So, whatever. So she says, She says, one guy pays my rent, and I just had another guy buy me an iPad the other day. Do you want to see it? I wish I was making this shit up, y'all. What'd you have to do for that little fucking $100 iPad, boo-boo? Like, y'all really out here in the streets fucking for iPads now? Y'all down that fucking bad? 20 years ago, girls made enough money to put themselves through fucking college. Like, they would make enough money in a weekend to pay fucking tuition for a semester. And y'all were out here doing shit for iPads. I just can't. Now, the other thing that she said, oh, I got one dude that pays my rent. Okay, well, that can be good. But at the same time, how much involvement does he have in that? Is your name even on the lease? Or are you living there alone? Is he coming by just whenever he wants? Has he ever even been there? Is it in your name? Like, these girls getting themselves, and I'm saying this because I'm someone that done the same fucking thing when I was her age. You can't tell people nothing, though. She's going to do what she wants to do, and she's going to think that life is grand. And then one day it's going to kick her in the face. And here's my thing. I told her, I said, you know, if you can get clean now, I said, your chances of staying clean are going to double, triple, quadruple the younger you are. Let me back up. The later in life you start drugs and the sooner that you get clean, your chances almost double of being able to get sober and stay sober without any relapses. So if you started drugs later in life, your chances of getting clean are even greater. Now this, I'm not saying this to discourage anybody who's been using drugs since they was fucking like 7 or something. I'm just saying that she's young and her brain has not even fully developed. If she quits now, there's a good chance that mentally she would be able to stay clean and focus and not have as much damage to her fucking brain. Like, and she would have a better chance at staying sober if she did it now. The older she gets, the more into the late 20s, the early 30s that she gets, the more every fucking day her chances are dwindling on survival. So I just think that it's imperative for people to hear these things. Some people have nobody ever fucking looked me in the face and said, Brooke, you need to get your shit together. You're going to die. Maybe that's what I needed, though. And I take that back. Nobody ever said that to me, but I said that to me. I looked myself in the mirror and I said that to me. And I saved myself. It's sad to see these girls that don't even want to save themselves. They've literally just given up. So she informs me that she's the top dog there, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, good, great, yeah. I'm like, you know, being nice about it because I'm a nice person. But at the end of the day, you know, all right. Let me get back to this, and then I'm skipping over some stuff. And here's my other thing. Why are you coming out of a dance to tell me what you do and do not do in VIP? This is what I mean when I say when people lie, they end up telling on themselves. She's telling me she came out of a dance. She went to the bathroom. She come over to visit me, immediately started telling me that she's the head honcho there and that all of the customers are her regular customers, and she's got one guy that pays for this, one that pays for that. And you're telling me you don't do no extra stuff in VIP. That's the whole reason that she even come over to talk to me, was to tell me, oh yeah, I just want you to know I don't do any extras back there. I'm not like that. Then why are you talking about it? It's called projecting. You're literally telling on yourself right now. Why are you coming over here to defend yourself when I didn't even accuse you of anything? You're literally snitching on yourself. It's called a guilty conscience. So, like I said, she did a dance with one dude. She come over and talked to me. I shoot the shit with her. Y'all, when I tell you I was taking fucking notes all day, because this is what I'm going to start doing. So anyways, then another guy comes in. She goes and does a dance. One dance. All of these were one song. They go in, they come out the next song. The dances are $42. The club gets $22 per dance, So if you want to do 4 dances, do the math on that. It's almost $200. It's absolutely ridiculous. And the club takes 22, you get to keep 20. Listen, it is impossible for these girls to survive on two $20 dances a day. So if this girl is making all this killer fucking money that she said, then that means she's doing something in the bag. And I can tell you from 17 years of experience, this is not a clean club. They absolutely do illegal shit in this club. They promote sex acts, sex work, and I know that without a doubt. So, it is what it is. And I feel bad for anyone that's putting themselves in that position. But part of the reason that I keep club hopping is because of this. Because I don't work for establishments that promote sex trafficking, because that's what it is. I don't care that that girl is willing. That girl is in the position of fucking survival mode, and you are coercing her into doing something that is not legal nor ethically, morally sound. You're talking to a vulnerable child who is struggling, and you're promoting this to line your fucking nasty ass pockets. It's not okay. And a lot of these women her age, they get in and they never get out. And they end up dead, overdosing. So the dance money is bullshit. It's impossible for these girls to make money. Even though you're on payroll, you will never get a paycheck. You'll never get a paycheck. That paycheck goes to pay into federal income, Social Security, all of that, which is great. You would think that that's great. The only reason that they have dancers on payroll is because their business was so shitty previously. They kept hiring girls that were not making money, which is what led to them getting sued. So, these are not the type of people that are promoting. These are not the type of people that are going to invest money back into these clubs and or invest even energy into the women that work for them. Nor do they care about our fucking safety. Speaking of which, at 4 o'clock, 4 hours after this girl got here, she had to go. She just had to go. After she did her dances, she had to go. And I'm like, well, where the fuck is she going? They're like, yeah, she's going to walk to the convenience store down the road. First of all, this is a dangerous fucking area. You could not pay me to walk down this fucking road. When I say that there are homeless people and fucking people on bicycles, people on the corner selling drugs, this is not a safe place, okay? Once again, I haven't been to many safe areas in this part of Virginia. I'm just being honest. It's just as rough as Washington, D.C. So I'm like, no, this bitch is not going to walk to the convenience store. No fucking way. This is what I'm thinking in my head. Nobody offered to take her, Like one of the employees or something. Like, nobody offered to take her. Just let her fucking walk a half a mile by herself in fucking stripper clothes, essentially. She took her shoes off, but pretty much left the whole fucking outfit she had on. Lord, you cannot make this shit up. No bouncer, nobody. Now, I take that back. The bouncer might have walked with her. Maybe. I mean, there's a good chance he could have. I don't know where he was at the time. He might have walked with her. So, I don't know. But I was under the impression she walked alone because she came back alone. So, I don't know. I'm just being honest that there's a good chance that maybe she did have somebody escort her that I did not see. She walks to the store. She comes back. She goes to the bathroom. And she comes back out. And once again, there she is, sleepy as hell, ready to take a nap, high as fuck, eating cake at the bar with her bare fucking hands, icing and all. You know who craves sweets? Heroin addicts. Yeah. You know who can't get $100 in their pocket at work before they have to go buy drugs 4 hours later because they're getting sick? Heroin addicts. So, she's literally leaving work mid-shift to walk down the road to buy drugs and to get a Slurpee and a piece of cake and come back. And when she gets back, like I said, she's sitting at the bar with a piece of cake that has cream cheese icing on it with her bare fucking hands. So these are the type of women that these clubs in this area want. So they don't want women like me. I mean, they do. They obviously hired me. But what I mean is they don't want anyone that has a fucking brain in their head. And I could tell that by talking to customers. I talked to 2 customers. You know what them customers said to me? They said, damn, you're pretty smart, ain't you? One guy was like, damn, you're pretty responsible, aren't you? I was like, I'm trying to be. Like, that's crazy when that's the fucking, it's not, oh, you're sexy. It's, damn, you actually are into some deep shit, Brooke. I don't know. Me personally, I feel like there's so much sex out here. I feel like the good men are starved emotionally, mentally, spiritually. I feel like good men don't give a fuck about all of this that much, you know? That's just been my experience. Good guys actually worry about things such as intrinsic value, goals, dreams, hopes, religious beliefs, you know, like the, you know, stuff that you can relate on. Like, I don't know. But I do know that it's very interesting that both of the customers I talked to kept bragging about how normal I seemed. We all used to be normal. I know girls that have put themselves through law school dancing. So she goes to the store, she buys her drugs, she comes back, and you know, I just want to say that she was really nice to me, and I do appreciate that. Um, while she was telling me about, you know, earlier when she was telling me that she ran that club or whatever, um, she also mentioned that the owner of that club owned all of the clubs in the Norfolk, Virginia Beach area. So, like I said, all of the clubs here, this one guy owns. And when you have one owner that owns an establishment, it's so much easier to break the fucking law. It is. When you own every club in the city, you can act like you're fucking Tony Soprano or whatever, and nobody's gonna do shit as long as you make your donations, election, you know, and donate some money to the fucking city to shut them the fuck up and get the cops off your back. And this is definitely the type of place that shit like that happens. So that JB Gallery of Girls that I went to yesterday, he owns that too. The club where I walked in, and then that one woman was in the Honda Fit. Y'all, when I tell you that from behind, it looked like, y'all remember that elephant from the movie Sing? The elephant, the one that could really sing? This woman in this Honda Fit looked like that elephant from behind. I'm not lying. I don't even know why I keep thinking that. Like, I just see, like I said, like, she barely fit in that fucking car. From the back windshield, it looked like she was in the middle driving. Like, it's crazy. JB Gallery of Girls. And apparently there used to be more of those JB Gallery of Girls, but they got shut down. Gee, I wonder why. So, like I said, when one guy runs and owns everything, it's easier to pay off the city, the government officials, law enforcement, and judges. Yes, these things do happen. But also, I would love to know the amount of money that this owner of this strip club franchise has donated to certain campaigns or other cities, or like the city in general. I would love to know, because here you have a man that is blatantly breaking the law. He's been sued civilly numerous fucking times. He's, you know, he's breaking the law, and y'all just keep letting him operate and mistreat these girls. And you know, when you run into these girls, you arrest them, you know, but he's allowed to just line his pockets with essentially sex trafficking money. You cannot, when someone is on drugs and you coerce them or you allow them to harm themselves, you're just as reliable. Like, how can I say this? I'm trying to figure out. All right, if you're a sex trafficker and you allow these girls to get high and then allow them the space to do this stuff, that's sex trafficking because they're high. Because we'll do another video on that another day, because it's really hard to explain, and you have to actually give like scenarios to explain what I'm trying to say. But pretty much, for you to allow these girls to be in there doing that, knowing good and well that they're doing it for a drug dependency issue, that's what I'm saying. That's, and now I don't know if this man gives these girls access to drugs. I don't know what the story is when it comes to the drug use in there. I was not there long enough. Now, I could go back Friday and work. I'm not. Fuck that. You will never see me in the Norfolk, Virginia area again, ever. It was a waste of time. I'm glad that I did it. I'm glad that I did it. Now, there's this other club that's open on the weekend called Hot Seat. That's supposed to be the hot happening place. Remember, the past 2 days, I was like, where are all the gentlemen's clubs? Because all of these are called gentlemen's clubs, but they're not. They're absolutely not. The audacity of these businesses out here calling themselves gentlemen's clubs, the audacity, okay? And that's what I'm here for, because I'm going to start telling you which ones are actually gentlemen's clubs and which one you need to skip over. I mean, a lot of these places are seriously unsafe and dangerous. And there came a point where I was scared in here. I'm just being honest. Like, I am scared around people like this. So, when you have the owner that owns all of these places, it just makes it easier to break the law, because he sets the standard. He makes all of the fucking rules. What he says goes, or else you're not stripping. When you have one owner that owns that large of a franchise and literally owns every club, it just makes the law easier to break and these girls easier to play. And I don't like that. I don't like this guy, and I can't even see his picture. I wish that I had a fucking team of people to help me with this shit. Legit. When I tell you that I was about to spend $12 to fucking see a picture of this guy, I almost did. The websites you can go to and you can run like people's information, all of that. So Truth Finder is a good one. I've found out so much information on Truth Finder, but you have to pay for it. And so Public Records is where I found a lot of stuff that I wanted to show y'all. I can probably do it in a different video, breaking down all of his court cases, because it's very interesting to see these girls when they sued him. It tells you the day that they showed up for court, what they discussed in court, everything on the docket, even bits and pieces of the motion of discovery from the case. So it's a lot of information that I found today, and I'm touching on too many things at once because of my ADHD. So when you own them all, you set the stage, you make the rules, and you set the dance expectations. Was that it? No. Oh, here it is. So let me talk about tipping on stage, because I have danced at hundreds of clubs and I've never seen this kind of process. So typically when you're a dancer in a club, guys throw ones on stage. It's what they do. You have some that like to come up and be a show all with them and just like hit you in the face with a stack of ones. Then you have, maybe some little old man who's more calmer that wants to come up and stick $1 in your T-bar. All of that money is yours. Every dollar that you make on stage and or off stage is yours. You don't have to give up any of your ones or any dance money from the stage to the club. However, at this place, for some reason, every time you go on stage, you're going to be up there for a full 15 minutes. I've never been at any club where they make you work a whole fucking 15-minute workout at work. Typically, you dance 2 songs, maybe 3, and then they rotate to another girl. Well, since this club doesn't have any other girls, they just throw us up there for 15 minutes at a time. Every time we go on stage, we have to give the house money. We have to pay the club to go on stage. Every guy that tips you, you have to then come off of the stage and tip the club $3 from every guy that tipped you. So if you had 10 guys tip you, no matter if they gave you $1 or $5, if you had 10 guys that tipped you, you have to give the club $30. Ain't that right? 3 times 10. Yeah. So So do you see what I'm saying? But if a guy only comes up and tips you $1, you're gonna be $2 in fucking debt. And they don't give a fuck. I asked about that. I specifically said, what if I go up on stage and, they come and tip me, but they don't tip me $3 to come pay you guys? She's like, well, I don't know. You just have to pay it. No, bitch. No. That's where you're fucking up. This is so illegal. How many times have y'all been sued and y'all still doing illegal shit? When y'all gonna learn? God, I need to call Mr. Kirstensen today, don't I? No, but for real, like, think about that. And here's my thing. What about, like, Friday and Saturday nights when we got 100 fucking dudes up in here? You just got somebody that's gonna stand over there with a fucking clipboard and a little fucking 1 guy, 2 guys, 3 guys, 4 guys. What in the money racketing shit is this? I couldn't believe it. I said, so I got to give you money that I don't have? She's like, it's just the rules. So at what point does it sound like I was going to be able to make money there? Like, does any of this sound like it's in the benefit of the entertainer that it should absolutely be in the benefit of? So I went on stage 2 or 3 times, no, twice the entire day because there was nobody in there. The 2 times that I went on stage, the guys were coming up and tipping me. However, by the time I would come down, I would have to tip out, $6 to $9, depending on if we had 2 or 3. Because there was one time that we had 3 dudes in there at one time, and I remember I had to give them $9 out of 15. I made $15 on stage, and I had to give them 9 of it. So at what fucking point am I supposed to start turning a profit? So once again, you have to pay attention to all of these things. How much money are you making on stage? How many customers are coming in there? How many girls are working? What they're doing for actual money. You have to figure out how you're going to make your money because every club is different. If you go to more like a inner city, like urban club, like a booty popping club, okay, those girls make money on stage tips. They make money shaking that ass, okay? Guys throw ones. I work for gentlemen's clubs. That means that I make my money in VIP on champagne rooms, sitting in hot tubs, shipping champagne, getting to know motherfuckers, like, okay? But the whole point of me going club to club is to find a good club that I can actually make money at. The issue is that I just went back to dancing a month ago. This is my 4th club. There's nowhere to work. They're all prostitution rings and fucking sex trafficking, coercion, drug related fucking shitholes. And so I guess I'm headed south after my doctor's appointment tomorrow. I'm going to head into South Carolina and check out some places there. So this video is a little... I'm such a bitch sometimes. I wrote in my note, now these other girls might not know how to count, but that's one of the few things I do know how to do. Guys come up to tip you $3 on stage, then you have to turn around and give all of that to the club. Remember, it's $3. It's $3 to the club every guy that tips me. If he tips $1, I still owe the house $3. Excuse me, who's on stage? Who's up there in 6-inch heels, freezing in a thong with no medical insurance or workers' compensation laws to protect me, busting my ass? Oh, and I got to give it to y'all. The only $6 I made. Oh, and I got to give y'all the only $6 I made. Y'all, I'd be fucking so frustrated in there. They say that it goes on a check. That's another thing. So the dollars that you give over for these $3 fees for every guy, like, it's literally punishing a girl for doing her job. Every guy that comes up to the stage to tip me, I have to give the club $3 for them tipping me? What? I'm being penalized for doing my job, and they are like, what? They say it goes on a check, but that's not true because after they said it went on a check, she says, but your check will be blank because they take it for taxes. Laughing my ass off. Oh, God, the gaslighting. Yeah, you'll get a check. Oh, but it's going to say 0. So I'm on payroll, but I'll never see a check. So the only money that I can make is maybe a few dollars on stage every day. If I'm lucky, I can sell $20 dances. Think about that. You would have to sell 10 dances to make $200. It's going to be impossible in this type of establishment that's this ran down. That's another thing. Let's go back to the list that I started with, and I want to tell y'all, like, the star. This is the worst rating, one of the worst ratings that I'll probably ever give a club. It was that bad. It's one of the worst clubs that I've ever been to and worked for. And it's really sad that this industry is going to this. I swear to God, I wish I had the money to open up a real strip club. No, I don't. I don't want those headaches. Been there, done that. But what I'm saying is I would love to somehow implement actual theatrical performing and showmanship back into the dance industry, because it started out as something that was an act of defiance. This woman, Carol, she was the first stripper ever. She started out in San Diego in the 1960s, and she worked in a restaurant or a bar or something. And in an act of defiance during the 60s, which was love, peace, drugs, you know, what do they call that? The 60s. What do they call that? It's something era. Anyways, like the love era. Carol took her shirt off and let her titties fly in the wind as an act of defiance. Well, wouldn't you know it? People, the men, loved it, and they started traveling from all over the country to come see Carol. And that's how stripping started. And I would really like to see the industry live on. The actual artistic side of it, I would love to see that live on, because it's a beautiful art behind it. If you've never watched pole dancing competitions, oh my God, it's breathtaking. Those girls are just as good as fucking gymnasts that are in the Olympics. And matter of fact, they just added pole dancing to the Olympics. It's a beautiful art form that's so sensual, and it has so much sexuality behind it. And I think that people misunderstand what it should and should not be. Strip clubs were never invented for sex work. Strip clubs were invented for a fantasy, for a therapist, for a friend. You got to remember, in the 1960s, most people were married. So all of the men that were coming to see Carol were married men. So it was a different time, and they had a different respect back then that they just don't carry nowadays. People don't have the restraint that they used to have. People are weaker than ever, and I see that a lot in the customers that I have to deal with. They have no self-control. So let's go back to the rating system, because I said number one, so that's two separate parts. We're going to do 5 stars and 5 stars. Number one, we're going to focus on business, facility, staff, dancers, and customers. First of all, they don't have a lot of customers. The customers that do come in there would rather give their money to girls that they know are addicts than women that are actually clean. I see this a lot. And you guys that are giving girls who have drug problems money, y'all are part of the problem. When she or he ends up dead, just know that's partially your fault. Guys would rather give money to a drug addict than a girl like me, because sex. They know they ain't getting shit from me. They know it. So anyways, customers, there aren't many. There aren't many. However, the customer base that comes into that facility is definitely my type of customer. I have a very specific type of customer that I like. We all do. We have our preferences, whether it's business or pleasure. We all have our preferences. And there's people that I like to deal with a little bit more than other people. And they definitely have more of a customer base that I'm used to. However, like I said, most of these guys, none of them spent money on me. I mean, they tipped me a couple times, but once again, if you know that I'm going to have to pay the house $3, why do you come up and tip me $3? You came up and tipped me for nothing. That money's not going to me. That money's going to the club. And that's what they were doing. That one stage set, it was my last stage set. I had to pay out $9, or it might have been my first. Y'all, this is why I take notes. Those 3 guys, one of them gave me 2 $5 bills. One of them gave me $3. And another guy, I don't remember. It was $15 altogether. 10 of that came from one customer. So one guy gave me $3 and another guy gave me $2. That $3 and that $5 cancels themselves out. That goes to the fucking club. That's not even my money. So why come tip me if you know it's just going to be handed to the house? It made no sense. It kind of defeats the whole fucking purpose. Like, I understand that you're trying to show me love, honey, but you should have gave me that when I got off stage, because that I could have kept that. It would have went in my pocket. Now I got to give it to them. So I really didn't understand the customers or their frame of thinking when it came to how they were spending their money. The facility is in complete shambles. The roof is caving in. There's where the poles are old, raggedy. This place has probably been there for 20, 30 years, probably since the 80s. And they've done no work. They did have a kitchen. However, I would not eat out of that kitchen. Right where the poles go into the fucking ceiling, they literally had the tiles missing out of the ceiling. And you could reach up there and feel the heat coming in from outside with fucking metal hanging down from the ceiling. The dressing room curtains, when you first walk into the dressing room, it looked like somebody had been stabbed in there. I'm not joking. It was a white curtain with something red all down the side of it. It was probably, I don't know, maybe fingernail polish or something. I don't know. But the dressing room was disgusting. The carpet had chewing gum and hair. And, you know, a lot of these places are nasty like this, and they don't have to be. So the facility, we're not even giving a 1. Okay. They get no star on that. The staff, they're not getting a star. The dancers, they're not getting a star because they're not up to par. If they were women that were up to par, like 20 years ago, then I would give them a star, but they're not. And it's bad for business to have girls running around strung the fuck out like that. Well, I guess it's not bad for you, you know, because they're willing to do anything. But it's a bad look overall if you're going for a certain clientele in that establishment to have girls running around strung out on fucking drugs. If you're trying to get a more respectable customer base in there. So their business, they didn't have any business, so they don't get a star. Their facility, they don't get a star. Staff, they don't get a star. Dancers, they don't get a star. Customers, no sir, no star. Money, let's talk about this money that you can't make in this place. They take way too much of your fucking money. You don't make enough money. It's impossible to even, like I said, if it's $42 per song, a 3.5 minute song, it's $42. The girl only gets to keep 20. The club takes 22. And that makes it impossible for a guy to actually get dance after dance after dance. So money, no star. Money cuts, they definitely ain't getting a star. Their policy, let's talk about this. Their policy. So they literally make you work from 11:30, 12 o'clock in the morning till 7 p.m. And there is no negotiating that. You have to be there and dressed and ready on the floor by 12 p.m. If you're not, they will terminate you and or suspend you on the spot. The reason that there was no more dancers there today, because the other dancers, I'm assuming it was 2 or 3, because I kept hearing the same names being thrown around. The other dancers are currently suspended. They got suspended yesterday. For a week. These bitches ain't gonna be able to work for a week. So that's why it was just me and this one girl working today. But they tell you that you have to get there, you have to stay there, you can't, blah, 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 blah. Well, unless you're the other girl that needs to go buy heroin, then you can do whatever you want. But me, I have to get there and stay there, okay? 7 hours. And they make your schedule. You don't have any input in your schedule. Y'all, this is what I'm saying. When they handed me that contract, the reason that I wanted a copy was to bring back and read it to you guys, because it was absolutely ridiculous how it said that I don't get to make my own hours as a stripper. And not only do I not get to make my own hours, but I will never have any kind of input into what days and hours I can and cannot work. They just put you on a schedule And every week it's going to be different hours. Like, what? The whole point of dancing is to be able to make your own hours and schedule, honey. It's convenient. You can swoop in there, make a bag, and swoop back out and go back to regular life. These people have forgotten their position. And these girls have forgotten their position and the power that they have. I'm telling you, if this was my home club, me and all of these bitches that were suspended would be taking our ass somewhere else. That's ridiculous. So, policy and regulation. Well, let's talk about policy. That's policy. Fuck that. I'm not dealing with that. That's crazy. And like the fact that they wouldn't give me a copy of the contract proves my case even more. Because why not? Because legally speaking, it is a contract that we are entering into. Legally speaking, I'm owed a copy. It's just like if you do a rental agreement, a lease, or you buy a car. It's a contract. It's a legally binding document. And I can't have a copy. Nor can I fill it out with my dependents. Hypothetically, what if I was married with 5 kids? I would have, I'd have to put 5 dependents on there, right? Ain't that how that works? I don't know. So, she doesn't know this though. So, how are they going to fill it out if they don't know who I am, if I'm married, if I have kids? Why do they need to fill that out? And why was she so adamant that I could not? That's what scares me. And that's what I'm saying when I say policy. The contracts, the agreements, that's going to fall under policy because I don't know what else to call it. If you have a better word, let me know. So, regulations. So, here's the confusing part. In Virginia, certain parts of Virginia, things are different. There is one club, up north in Virginia, that allows fully nude and actually serves alcohol. Some states that are fully nude clubs where you can show your vagina and your tits, those clubs, a lot of them do not serve alcohol in North Carolina because you're showing vagina and serving alcohol. They just don't like that. And a lot of those places are what they call a BYOB. It's bring your own booze. So you basically go to the store, you buy your own beer, you take it into a club, and then you pay them to reserve your beer to you while you're at the club. It's the craziest system, but it's something that they do because women are going to be showing their vaginas. Now, there's one club in Virginia up north that offers that. All of the other clubs are more like, they're like in the Bible Belt. Like I said, at this club, half of it, you could go topless. But that was on the side of the building that does not have any alcohol over there. On the side of the building that serves alcohol, you have to be completely covered at all times. So there's these laws and regulations that they've put into place for a reason. This is kind of the Bible Belt. It's still considered the Bible Belt. And these people up here, they look at these clubs as what they are. They look at the commissioner that approved these. So back in 2008, there was a huge issue up here on what they could and could not allow and what the girls could and could not show. And one of the commissioners that put new laws, or one of the people that put new laws into place, he stated that these places were nothing but prostitution rings. He said that was his issue, is that the law was not that the law was vague. And he found that something about, God, y'all, it's on here. It's on my screenshots. We'll talk about that another day. But pretty much they found it unconstitutional to blah, 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 blah. So, I don't know. I just found it interesting that this guy who signed off on this back in 2008, when they reevaluated the law or they took a look at it, I find it interesting that he was concerned about these places being prostitution rings, and now they are. Like, maybe he's spoken into existence, I don't know. But so regulations is some clubs you have to cover your nipples with pasties and or latex paint. You can't have your nipples showing at all. The club that I worked at, you could show your tits, but only on one side of the building. So the regulations in this area are really fucking weird. They don't make any legal sense unless somebody's making some money on the side somehow. Okay. But also the hours. I also put that as like number five in the second category, because as an independent contractor, no one can ever tell you how many hours to stay and or when you're going to work and not work. Now, I understand that a lot of these clubs out here nowadays, they tell these girls that they have to stay 6 hours. Unfortunately, even though it's against the law, if you want a job, you're going to have to stay 6 hours. Now, it's highly illegal because you are on a 1099. But once again, if you want that position and you need the money, you're just going to have to fucking deal with it. And this is the issue that I'm having. This is the issue in life that I've always had. Things have been like this my whole life. I walk into things and people are literally breaking the law and doing grimy shit. And I'm just being honest that I don't have the patience or the emotional control to withhold brainwash, like to brainwash myself. I just can't do it. I can't shut my mouth and just roll over and fucking take it. I can't. It's not right, and I'm going to talk about it, and I'm going to have so many more of these strip club reviews coming, because number one, I want girls, because girls are going to venture into this. I want girls to know the truth, number one. I want women to be safe, but also I want society to know the truth. I want society to know why I'm living out of a fucking car. This is why. I've been dealing with this for over 15 years, and there came a point where I kind of cleaned my act up and I was saving up money and investing in it, and that money was stolen from me. So I'm damned if I do and I'm damned if I don't. But one thing we're not going to do is allow these raggedy fucking clubs that have zero respect for themselves, much less other people, to gaslight me into believing that, the $5 that I made today was worth it. Because they will. They absolutely will. I worked at a club recently, and it was that club I made $1,500 at. I need to do a review on that one. It was the new Cheetah Club of Raleigh out by the airport. They just built it 2 months ago. What was I about to say? Jesus, my brain. I'm so tired, y'all. I also haven't had any weed all day. So earlier this morning I had some, but I'm out and I'm not spending my money on it. I was about to say something, and it was really important. But anyways, I'm kind of getting off track again. Oh, that's what I was about to say. So the Cheetah Club, they have a female manager. When I first started there, I thought that I liked this girl. I thought that maybe she might be a little relatable. I was really hoping that she was someone, once again, that I could get to know and get a little guidance from, or like wisdom, because she used to dance and she doesn't dance anymore. She's manager of this new fancy club, this beautiful luxury 5-star Michelin fucking strip club in Raleigh, North Carolina. However, over a period of 2 or 3 weeks working at this establishment, I started to notice how shady she was, how kind of two-faced, and how she really didn't give a fuck about the girls that were dancers there. She was more geared towards making money for the establishment. And as the weeks went on, my first week there, I got lucky. And then my last 2 weeks there, I didn't make a dime. However, I made thousands of dollars while I worked there, but I only got maybe a small portion. When I say 1/3, maybe 1/3 of the money that I'd earned, I got to keep. The club got the rest. But I was having a bad 2 weeks. I really was struggling and I was not making any fucking money. And there was a day that I didn't make money or something, and it was really slow for everybody. The entire club was slow. I saw one girl the entire day, so one dance in a room where there's no touching. It's the cheapest dance that you can get. Listen, these clubs, this bitch tried to gaslight me though. The manager, she tried to gaslight me. I said, yeah, it's been really slow. Like, I haven't made any money, blah, 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 blah. And this was the day after. And she says, well, girls made money yesterday. Did they? Because I was positioned at the table right in front of the dance rooms. And I saw one girl give one dance in a beaded room that doesn't have a door or a curtain. It's the cheapest dance you can fucking get. When I say this, because in this club, they make customers feel bad for getting a cheap dance. They really do. They pressure. They're predatory. Their business practices are predatory. And they absolutely make you feel less than if you don't have $1,000 to get in a fucking jacuzzi with one of those girls. It's predatory, and that establishment is out for them. I mean, obviously, any girl that makes $1,500 in an hour, but only gets to walk away with $400, that tells you all that you need to know about how predatory these fucking businesses are. It didn't used to be like that. Them taking that money from me is so illegal. Now, I could go sue them civilly. However, I don't have any receipt of that. These clubs make sure that there's no fucking trail. I mean, I could always go back there and work, but I'm not. I've worked for the man my whole fucking life. I'm sick of working for the man. I'm never going to get ahead in life. I'm never ever going to be able to do anything with myself if I keep working for the fucking man. Something that's changed in the industry is the respect. You know, back in the day, the bouncers and the floor guys and the managers and the DJs, they would be so nice to you. You knew all of them. You were friends with them. They were cool. They had your back. You looked after each other. It's not like that anymore. These people will blatantly steal tips from you and then treat you like shit and not even escort you out to your vehicle when it's dark at night. It's like, once again, we got people in positions that don't even know how to do their damn job. And it's like, but y'all want $100, $400 of my tip money from my hot tub? I'm sorry. Did you get in there with that man or did I? Like, am I missing something? Were you in there with us and I just didn't see you? Like, why are you getting more than the dancer? Because he did. The bouncer, the day that I sold that $1,000 hot tub, the bouncer made more than I did. The customer left me a $300 tip, and they gave it to the bouncers. And then they stole $100 out of my dance money. Remember, they hold your money till the end of the night. You will never have any cash on you. Why? Because of exactly what happened today. The girl that got that money earlier today at Headlights, she walked to the store to buy drugs. So now a lot of these clubs have gotten to where you'll never have any cash on you. You don't get your money till the end of the night. And you best believe if something happens before the end of the night and they fire you, you just ain't even going to see your dance money, honey. It's so fucked up. I wish that I could open a real good, healthy, theatrical, fucking Broadway strip club with outfits and fucking fireworks and fire breathers and fucking, you know, monkeys stripping on strippers on strip poles. Like, that is stripping, baby. That's what people come to see. And if that's not what you're there for, then you probably shouldn't be there. You're part of the problem, you pervert. It really sucks. It really does. So, I think that's all the notes that I have right now. On a more personal note, I'm stressed the fuck out. My truck payment is 3 weeks late. At any moment, they could come tow my shit and I'd be so fucked. I'm lying. I've been 2 months behind on my truck payment before. And when I tell you that I did not sleep, I could barely sleep because I just knew that they were going to tow this motherfucker. Once again, my bank won't even notify me if we're good, if I can get like a little extra extended time. They don't even fucking care. They don't call me. And if I come up with the money, I'll have to go hunt them sons of biscuits down. You best believe I'm going to have to call them 10 times before I can make a payment. Now, I can make one online. However, that's a whole nother story for a whole nother video. No, I can't. My abuser locked me out of my own fucking out of my own financial account for my truck. He sure did. Change my passwords. It's been months. I've been trying to get Ally Financial to fix it. They're a pain in the butt, okay? Hey, I didn't cuss a lot in this video, did I? Did I? Was it that bad? I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I know I have potty mouth, y'all. It's so disgusting. And I want more normal people to watch my channel. So for y'all, I'm going to work on cleaning up my potty mouth a little bit. And, you know, actually, it might be good for my health. So, however, statistically speaking, people that cuss sometimes tend to be smarter than people who don't. Google that. Give that a goo. Give that a goo. Do people that cuss, are people that cuss, are their IQs higher? I don't know what else to call it. But, yeah. So I'm going to head back to North Carolina. I literally had to ask for help again from my ex. I asked him for $80 for gas, and I told him I'd send him a receipt because that's just the person I am. And, you know, I shouldn't feel obligated to send him a receipt, but I'm the type of person that I think I'm a little more defensive than I need to be because I have so many people that are like, oh, you're in drugs, you're in drugs, you're in drugs. You know, and I get sick of fucking hearing it. So I'm just like, here, let me do this for you just to prove a fucking point. And like, if you're helping me, I want to prove my point even more because you're helping me. So I want to be honest and forthcoming with you, you know? And I got to take a drug test in the morning, you know? Like, for my fucking medication. It's like people don't think. And I've spoke about before how years of trauma, a trauma response is actually high anxiety and energy like I have. Like it's almost like bordering mania. I don't know if you know what mania is, but mania is where you're like manic, like you're just like balls to the wall. You look like you're on methamphetamine. And it's mania. It's a trauma response from being abused so fucking much. Like, you would think that people would realize this, but you know, this is why I'm talking about these things because I want you to know that not all of us that act like we're on meth are actually on meth. It's a trauma response to all of the unstable and unsafe environments that I've been put in. I've never been able to feel secure, so I'm constantly on edge in a mode of survival because I've had to be. And I think that this is why I was drawn to heroin and falling asleep because when I tell you that my mind is going 1,000 more times more than my mouth right now, I'm not even exaggerating. It's always been like this. The only time that it's ever stopped was when I was on Adderall. It fucking mellowed me out, bro. Like, mellowed me out. Like, I could literally do a semester's worth of schoolwork in just like a week or two on fucking Adderall. However, I don't believe in big farm. And we all know that I want to come off of the medication that I'm on. The last thing that I need to do is go get on another medication that is a narcotic. So I'm going to be ADHD, manic, strung out, probably for the rest of my life. It's just who I am, and I can't help it. And if my spazziness offends you, maybe don't be here. And that's me being nice, because I usually tell people to go suck a giant fat... I'm cleaning up my potty mouth. Yo, have y'all heard of this freaking kid? This Sam Sulek freaking kid, this Vulcan. So, he's a 22-year-old kid, okay? He used to be a pro swimmer. He was a diver. And this kid is going to end up dead before the age of 30. It's so sad. He's literally going to kill himself. Does he look amazing? Is it amazing what steroids can do? Absolutely. Absolutely. This man eats nothing but junk. On his bulking, when you're bulking to try to gain muscle, and then you go on a you kind of lean back out to see the muscle that you've gained. So when these gym people like myself, when we're bulking, we're doing that trying to grow muscle. And when we lean out, we're leaning out to show off the muscle that we've built. And I didn't understand that, and I might be getting some things a little back ass where... Fucking police. I swear to God, I'm not in the mood to deal with these sons of bitches tonight. All right, so back to him. He freaking eats like a racehorse. And he eats all of this bad stuff, horrible stuff. He'll go to the store and get like 2 gallons of milk and a freaking 12 pack of donuts and like 3 pizzas and like yeah. So he's only like 22 though. I mean, he's a child. His brain's not even fully developed. Even though he's a 6 foot tall man that weighs almost 250 pounds, if not more, and he's nothing but solid muscle, what he's eating is not good internally. And the steroids plus the food, I hope that there comes a day when Sam decides to maybe potentially change things a little more to better his health, because I think that Sam is a really great guy. But the diet that he's on combined with the drugs that he's taken is a recipe for fucking disaster. And I feel like he is one of the most genuine people that we have seen come to the YouTube platform. And not only did his popularity blew up overnight, you guys. He literally started posting, he posted 1 or 2 videos and overnight got millions of followers because he's just so relatable and down home, and he really breaks down, how to diet, how to exercise, where to start, how to hold yourself accountable, how to show up every day. He really is just a really relatable person. And I just I hope that he cleans his diet up one day. But a lot of my workout routines I get from him. A lot of the good diet when he's leaning out, like when he goes and he'll do grocery store hauls where you can walk around the grocery store with him. You can be the little kid sitting in the buggy. And he shows you what he eats in his diet, and then he goes to the gym and blah, 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 blah. If you're thinking about working out, I would advise that Sam become one of your, not idols, but guiding pillars, because the kid is blowing up. He's gonna be up there with Arnold Schwarzenegger and all of them, those pro athletes that are known for their body. That's Sam. But he was a pro swimmer, and there came a point in high school where he started weight training, and he put on so much muscle that he couldn't then swim because swimmers are small, and you go faster in the water if you don't have anything holding you down. So the skinnier that you are when you're Olympic racers, they need to be thin. They're thin. But Sam in high school, there was a pivotal moment in his life where he was either gonna focus on swimming or he was gonna go full force into weight training. And he decided to go full force into weight training, and it was the best thing he could have ever done for himself. He's completely left the swimming behind, and his channel was blown up. And I think that it's not going to be, this is not the first nor last time that you're going to hear this name. He is going to be huge in the bodybuilding and weightlifting and social media, as far as like, fit influencers or whatever. Huge, huge, huge. And I have a lot of respect for his mentality and his personality and how mature he is. Every time I listen to him talk and I watch his workout videos, I forget that he's 22 because he's so fucking mature. And like, you can literally only get that, in my opinion, that level of adult from one place. A fucking farm. It's in the South, baby. The traditional family raised that boy. I don't know where he's from, but I'm assuming it was in a rural area. But I'm gonna run, you guys. I gotta freaking get my butt back on the road. I do. I got another like 2.5 hour drive. Me. I gotta be at my doctor's super early, so I'm probably gonna go ahead and drive most of that tonight while there's no traffic, because if I wait till in the morning, my luck, I'll get stuck in damn traffic somewhere before I get to Winston-Salem. Like, I know it, and these are like 2-lane highways from Virginia going into like the Piedmont Triad area. I'm going from the southern coast beach line of Virginia into the middle of the state of North Carolina. So it's some movement. but it's on roads. I was talking to that guy at the bar today, and he was talking about how bad the roads are here. He's from Boston, and he's a taxi driver. And I said, bro, I said, I literally was just telling people yesterday how bad the freaking roads in Virginia are. He said, for it to be one of the richest states in America, he said, I still can't believe how bad the roads are. I said, preach, honey, preach. God, y'all remember me talking about that yesterday? Listen, I went over a hump today that I didn't even see. I'm going through a stoplight. It's 45 miles an hour. There's a hump in the road that I couldn't see. I hit that damn hump so hard. Remember in the movie Knocked Up with Jamie Foxx and Robert Downey Jr., and they got Zach Galifianakis in the back of that truck, and they pick him up from the hospital. Remember, freaking Robert Downey Jr. spits on Zach Galifianakis' dog. Remember that? So, remember when they hit the jump and they fucking throw the dude up in the air? That's what my tire sounded like when I went over that hump earlier. Also, I got nails in my tire. When I went to go get that Taco Bell a while ago, I come out, I looked down at my tire. I was actually checking them to make sure that from the outside they appeared well. And then I actually cranked the truck, and there's a sensor on here that tells me what my air mileage is, like my air tire. See? Hold on. It tells me so I was checking that, and I was looking at my tires, and I noticed that there's a nail in my tire. And one of them had kind of went through like the sidewall of like some of the tread, and it looked like it was gonna bend inwards on the tire. So I took my vape and beat it outwards and took the nail out. But now there's another one in the very middle of the tire. So somebody had dropped nails on the damn road, and they just left them out. Like, what an asshole. The amount of times that I've had a flat tire from nails is unbelievable. When these, blue collar workers, when they're going down the road and they got all that shit on the back of these work trucks, sometimes these assholes accidentally drop nails in the road. Some of those toolbox, they'll leave them laying on the work truck, or maybe there's some that were trash that was in a bucket and it spills over, and the next thing you know, you just got nails all in the middle of the road. I understand that it's an accident. I understand that it happens. But if I knew that I spilled something somewhere, I probably would go back and pick that shit up. That's just, I'm being for real. 100%. If I spilt a box of 100 nails, I would go pick up 100 nails. But I know ain't everybody got time for that shit. I'm just saying, like, damn, how many times am I going to get a flat tire? So I think it looks good right now. We'll look at it before. I'm actually in a pretty safe neighborhood. The moon is pretty again. Y'all see the moon? Probably not. Last night was prettier. So let's check them before we pull off. So this is the one that has a nail in it. And as you can see, there's quite a bit of tread on this tire. I just bought this. I mean, it's a little bald, but it could be worse. I can get my finger down in there. There's a penny trick. If you have a penny, if you put the penny in there, if the tread does not cover his head or something, then you need new tires. I'll have to do that with you guys one day. I have to like look up how to do it again. But there was one like right here on the sidewall. Like it was going through this way. It was at an angle, and I was scared that it was gonna, maybe if I hit something or curved it, that it would go into the side. So I beat it out with my vape. I don't see it, so it must be on the bottom. And it's almost like a cat nail, like a, like, it's like a little thing, like flat back. I definitely need to put some air in on because that air is supposed to be at 45 psi. Fun fact, your tires tell you what make and model and what air they take on the side of them. It'll say PSI with a number. And my truck is a freaking mess, y'all. All I do is clean. I mean, it's just a legit damn hot mess express. So freaking pay attention to your chat. Say something interesting and I will. Let's see what all was interesting that was said. Let's see if we got some people that are able to be adults or not. Trump. 100% Trump. If you're going to vote for about anybody but Trump, you're part of the problem. You are exactly why we got in this situation to start with. Yep. Not one serious question. No one cares. Then why are you here? God. The stupidity. The stupidity. Meth mouth. Where, bitch? Where? Fucking dumbasses. Y'all so jealous. I love it. Thank you for all the views. Seriously. I've got like, I don't even know. One day I had 86,000, then I had another 80,000, then I had like 24,000, then I had like 16,000. So thank you so much. So much. Hopefully, maybe one day I'll be able to monetize. Then I can actually hire somebody to help me edit my videos. Because I know that I'm not good at that. Listen, one thing that I wanted to tell y'all was when I was in there, people were asking me about, you know, why I moved to Virginia and all of this. And y'all know I lied through my teeth, right? And I'm bad at lying too. Like, I get nervous when I lie and I start to smile. Like, I snitch on myself pretty much because I'm so uncomfortable with the fact that I'm lying. But this guy was like, "Why are you here?" And I didn't want to be like, "Oh yeah, I'm just here to review this fucking club." But that's really what I was doing. I went in there to review it. I wanted to know the business, and to know the business, you have to get in there and work in the business. Like, they're not just, you can't just roll up and fucking ask questions. You got to get in there and actually work. So if any law enforcement agency wants to hire me, or the FBI, I am so fucking down. I will take a 401k and some fucking benefits in a heartbeat, honey. Some real insurance. Y'all got workers' compensation and all. Shit. If I get hurt on the job, do I get a pension for the rest of my life? You can never get a job as a government official and or for a police agency or for any, city job, state worker if you've been a felon. But I absolutely would love to work for a sex crimes unit as far as specifically dealing with underage girls to 30-year-olds, specifically that age group. The amount of knowledge that I have on sex work, there's a reason that God's blessed me with the intuition and gut instinct that I have. And it's not just to come on here and run my mouth. It's to actually make a difference. And so that's what I plan to do. I feel bad for these girls that are stuck in the cycle of abuse and drug use. And I feel bad for them. But like I said, I kept reiterating that if that girl wanted to get clean, that she can do it. And I kept telling her, every day that you wait is a day closer to your death, baby. So remember, when I first went in there, she said she was on Suboxone, and that was the first thing out of her mouth. Remember, before she even asked my name, she literally is like, she says, "You can't wear those underwear," remember? And then she says, "Oh, well, I haven't been here because I haven't been feeling well because I've been coming off Suboxone." She said that she says that she didn't have Medicaid and that blah, 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 blah. That's another thing that I forgot to mention. If I continued to work there, I wouldn't have insurance anymore. So this girl does not have insurance because this club told the state how much money she made in there, and the state cut her benefits off. So she makes at least $2,000 a month, which is nothing. Nothing. $2,000 a month is nothing. Fuck. I have months that I spend that on gas. So, whatever. But I just want to be clear that, everything I've said about any of these people, I mean from a place of fucking love. I am a realist. I am blunt. I've always been this way. I've always said these things. I've always believed the things that I've believed. And it's caused problems for me in society because I'm not willing to bend over and just fucking take it like everybody else, you know? And there's a reason that God put me in this body. There's a reason that God gave me the intuition and all of that. And I'm going to use it. And I'm sick of keeping my mouth shut because I've literally been working in this industry for almost 20 years and I am poor. I am so fucking poor and I shouldn't be. So we're headed to South Carolina this week. Y'all ready? We're going to actually have some fun this time. I'm actually going to do like some lives on the beach. I'm going to be paying, I got some internet stuff going on when I make it back home. So, yeah, I'm going to have so much fun down in, I don't know if I'm going to go to Charleston. I don't know where to go yet. If you guys have any ideas, drop it in the comments. I definitely will take any kind of real advice into consideration. Yeah, I think that going south would be much better because if you get up into the DC area, they don't even have, you can't dance. And I have made money at some of those clubs up there, but it's just not worth it in my opinion. You know, those girls up there, they focus more on making money outside of the club during the after hours. Any club that does not allow any guys to get lap dances or anything like that, those girls have to be making money outside of the club. And this is what I'm saying. I can't tell you how I know this. One day I'll be able to break it down for you guys. But as a dancer, you can go, if you're an experienced dancer and you've been around the block, you can go around to these clubs and you can see how the girls are making their money. Like I said, if you can't give lap dances, how are you making your money? But these girls keep coming back. So that tells you that they're making money somehow. So let your brain do the imagination or the imagining. But I just want women who are thinking about coming into this to know what it actually is. And I want them to know that these clubs don't give a shit about them, crap about them. These clubs don't care about you, baby. You are a number. You are disposable. Half of these clubs out here, you could go missing at and your body be thrown in the dang ocean or in the woods and nobody would ever know because they have ties to the city and the people in the city, no matter where you go. I literally have had more strip clubs. I've been in more strip clubs that got along and had dealings with law enforcement more often than not. So, yeah. But just be careful out here. And this is definitely not the career that I thought that I was going to have in 20 years. You know, when I went into this, I did not see myself here. And that's why I'm talking about these things, because these bitches that are doing OnlyFans are putting their butthole online for $2.99. It's going to be good for now, but just give it a little while. And I'm so grateful for my mental health because a lot of girls in my positions going into these clubs, they would lose their marbles. Like, it would literally hurt their feelings to have to deal with the stuff that they have to deal with. You know, a lot of girls are not strong enough to be in this environment and deal with all of the bullying and, you know, mind games and stuff. And so I just want to be clear that it is a drama-filled industry, and you're always going to have drama going on, always. Like the kitchen cook today, I asked him, I said, how long have you been working here? And he said, oh, since October of last year. And I said, oh, you like it? Once again, he was one of the most normal people that I met. Very kind boy. But he says, he's like, yeah, he's like, it's just the fucking drama. He's like, there's always fucking drama. He says, there's a bunch of girls suspended right now because of drama. And I said, well, I said, that's women, baby. I said, women are emotional creatures. I said, they have a propensity to get, you know, their panties in a bunch. I said, men are less probable to behave that way. I said, but this is a female-driven industry. I said, so you better get used to it. Harsh reality. I don't like the drama, but I'm going to come to a strip club to be around strippers. You think we up in here having powwows, baby? You think we sitting around the campfire fucking roasting marshmallows? Like, what are you thinking? Of course it's drama. You got money, drugs, and freaking women who are emotional creatures in a fucking 12 by 12 space. You know what I mean? Not really, but you know what I mean. Like, what were you thinking this was going to be, a walk in the park? Like, This is what I mean. People like that that don't even understand don't need to be in these clubs. Oh man, I'm gonna run, you guys. I hope y'all have a good night. I hope that I'm kind of upset at myself because I had planned to be able to have the phone that I'm filming on to look at my notes and like things to go more smoothly. I even freaking was writing out this theme song earlier. I was like, damn, I need like a jingle. I need something, you know? I want to be able to like write that myself though. I don't want to like use some app that has like a music. Like I want to be able to make my own intro. So I was like, I was doing something with my name, the BBWB, and I wanted to sing it when I first started freaking filming. However, it's on my phone. I started like writing the words down. So, anyways, we'll do it better next time. This is this club BBWB approved? Absolutely not. They're gonna get 1 star out of 10. 1 star out of 10, and I can't even remember what that star was for. Policy, facility, business. I don't even remember what that 1 star was for. We had business, policy. Yeah, I don't even remember what that star was for. Maybe I just gave it to them to be kind. But, their facility was horrible. There was no money there. There was no business. The girls were not up to par with where they should be if they're an entertainer. The staff sucked. They have shady business dealings with that fucking contract, bro. And I'm telling you right now, that I'm calling the Department of Labor tomorrow, and I'm going to let them know that I got hired there and I worked 1 day. And I don't know if they can do anything for me to make sure that these people don't. And I don't know. But there's absolutely been strippers that went and danced somewhere one time and then had their fucking identity stole. So it's got me stressed out. And, once again, how do these people know how many dependents I have? And I kept Googling, trying to figure out how they can make it financially beneficial for them by giving me 2 or 3 or 4 dependents. But the more dependents, the less taxes they take. I don't know how they could do anything with that, but the fact that she jerked the paper out of my hand and said, no, you don't fill that out. And I don't have any dependents, so it should have been 00000, right? And she said, no, you can't do that. We'll fill it out. Well, you didn't even ask me if I was married, if I had kids, if I was taking care of my grandma who's damn senile. You didn't ask me nothing. That's sketchy. Also, the fact that they put you on payroll, but you never see a check. And the fact that they've been sued dozens of times. I don't know why I gave them 1 star, but I did. So, once again, that's probably the lowest rating that we will ever see on this channel. So, South Carolina next week. Y'all coming along with me? We're going to try some new clubs. We might actually hit 1 or 2 old clubs that we already have open contracts with. Other businesses that I've worked at before that I'm on good terms with. I try not to burn bridges. However, as I said at the beginning of this video, me doing these strip club reviews, it's going to come to the point to where people know me. And I really feel like after that girl was talking to me about the Suboxone, and then she said something else that I related to that I talk about on this channel. We were just talking about it earlier. But anyways, the stuff that she was talking about, once again, I feel like maybe she saw my channel or saw me or knows of me. Oh, and another thing, like I said, she worked for me and my ex at Paper Moon. And I didn't, I don't want these people to know who I am. But when she said that, I was like, yeah, I'm aware. I know Paper Moon. I know Paper Moon very well. Yeah. So, and then she told me she went to Phillies, and I knew. I said, oh, well, if she went to Phillies, that's a prostitution club. So that explains why she didn't work for us very long, because we didn't allow that shit. If we caught a girl back there doing anything sexual, she was leaving the club. Adios, bitch. Adios. Good knowing you. You're literally breaking the law. And I can't give you any of the dance money, because if I do, that's me allowing prostitution to go on. So you just gave that dude a blowjob for nothing, because you're not getting any of the dance money. Okay, I'm gone this time for real. I'm gone this time for real. Thank y'all for sticking it out with me. I guess we're gonna call this, until I can come up with something better, just BBWB's reviews. I don't know. We'll come up with something better eventually. Is it BBWB approved? There we go. I think I like that a little better. We'll work on something, you guys. But I'm excited to go to more clubs now. I really am. I love you guys. I'm praying for y'all, and pray for me, because obviously God knows I need it. Okay, I'm gonna go make this little damn 3-hour drive, and we'll chat tomorrow. Y'all get some rest and sweet dreams. Bye, y'all.